All right, last night I was filming an episode and I didn't want to give up on why there's no spark on this thing. I did do some testing and figured out exactly what was causing the problems. Unfortunately, I wasn't looking forward to this. I really wanted to fire it up and see if it runs. So I tested this coil, and the coil actually tested bad. There is power up to the coil, but the resistance on here is not accurate. I also tested the crank position sensor, or the coil pickup, and that is also bad. And these Triumphs are known to have that problem. Triumph actually knows about it, and over the years there's companies that have developed a better unit. A lot of the OEM replacement coil pickups now are supposed to be better. So I placed a aftermarket high output coil on order. I also got a crank position sensor that's OEM Triumph brand, and I did order a gasket for this case here, and I'm going to be tearing all that apart and replacing all the components, and hopefully we get spark. There is fuel, there is air, and the last thing is spark. I also noticed that underneath the fuel tank there is a wire hanging out. This wire is for the solenoid for the air injection. The whole purpose of a secondary air injection system is to pump fresh air that comes from right here filter box to the exhaust header pipes right after the exhaust valves. And if you look here, this line here that comes from the filter runs to this valve here. There is a vacuum line that runs off of here to open and close that valve inside there, and then that fresh air is pumped right here, right next to the spark plug, which is right after the exhaust valves, right? So the air in the secondary air injection system is not being mixed with fuel, and it will not be a part of the combustion process inside of the engine. Mechanically speaking, the secondary air injection system only affects post-combustion operations. So, you know, after your combustion in the cylinder head there. And so if you remove this system here, it shouldn't impact any performance or fuel economy. However, the sole function of this system is to reduce emissions, and there have been some people who have removed these units from their bikes, and they actually say that they feel like the bike doesn't lag as much or even gains performance. How accurate is that? I'm not really sure. I've removed these systems from motorcycles before, and it's been nothing but positive feedback, especially at idle sometimes. I think if they're malfunctioning, that you can definitely have an issue there. So there you go, secondary air injection pump. I do plan on ordering a kit to remove all this stuff off of this bike eventually. Now this morning I am heading out to my buddy's shop. His name is Cole. He owns Regal Metal Works, and he's here local in central Pennsylvania. I'm taking the hub assembly from the bike and also the crash bars. I'm going to have him prep this and powder coat them in a matte black. So I'll take you guys along and show you the shop. Alright, so I'm driving over to Regal Metal Works. They're located in New Cumberland, Pennsylvania. I've had Cole, the owner, do a lot of work for me over the years. He's awesome. He fabricates and welds and has a full shop of awesome equipment. He's able to do a lot of off-the-wall stuff as well. So I'm taking the parts down there. He said he was gonna have a fairly quick turnaround time for me as far as getting the parts back, and that makes me super excited because I can ship those out to Cognito and have them do their magic. So here we are. It's like a little industrial complex over here, and there's this building. He's even got a mobile welding truck. I think that's pretty cool. He took an old ambulance and built a welding outfit, which is pretty freaking cool, man. All right, I'm here at Regal Metal Works. This is Cole, and this is a shop. It's freaking huge. Got all this equipment, and but he was showing me this this bike that he did all this work on, and I was super impressed. So you want to tell him a little bit about this?
Yeah, it's a 1969 Honda Mini Trail. I bought this in '94 out of the newspaper when they used to have those for $50. Used it as a pit bike when I was racing street bikes until it just was too difficult to get running. Put it in my parents' barn in 2016. They decided to sell it. I was like, I better go grab that bike out of there. Grabbed it, threw it up on my shelf up here, sat up here for the past 5 years, and I was just going to give it to somebody to restore, just to have, because I wanted to always restore it, and I was like, I don't have time to do that. And some of my guys were like, hey, did you see what they're bringing on Bring a Trailer? I said, no. So I looked it up. They're bringing 4 to 8 grand. I was like, oh man, I can't give this away now. I got to restore it. So they come with a 50cc motor with a 3-speed transmission with a centrifugal clutch. Kind of pain in the ride, really slow, top speed 25 miles an hour. So I was like, you know what? If we're going to restore it, let's do an electric conversion. I've always wanted to do one. So I was like, let's jump into that. So that's what we did. And this is what it ended up. It's a 72 volt, about 9,000 watt motor on max draw, and it hauls the mail. It's currently geared to do about 57 miles per hour top speed, and we have some different gearing come to try and do about 67 top speed. But it's a little sketchy at that speed because there's no suspension in the rear. It is a hardtail. I did lengthen it 9 inches, so it wouldn't be a wheelie machine, but it's still wheelies. We used mostly restoration parts, like the tires are original factory parts, made in Japan, the exact manufacturer, 2-spec. They're super soft. Wheels are still the stock. The hubs are drum brakes on both front and rear. That's all still original. You can see them on the other side. And they're all polished up. The triple tree's polished up. That's all factory OEM.
Yeah, he was saying the parts are hard to find, so.
And very expensive. So frames right now are going for anywhere from $500 to $800 just for a plain frame that's all rusted out. So I was thinking about building another one and kind of going balls out on it. This one I didn't want to go too far on.
What do you think about doing a giveaway possibly?
If people would be interested, I might consider doing building one of these for a giveaway. It would be pretty cool. I would love to do it. This one I have too much emotional attachment to, so I can't give this away. But I was thinking about doing something with some inverted forks and some different wheels and maybe a rear suspension. Something to handle the speed, because this thing is brutal.
So if you guys are interested in seeing stuff like this, Cole said that he would probably build them and maybe giveaways,
Yeah,
or
I could do giveaways.
commission builds maybe.
Commission builds too. If you have a Z50 that you're just like, you've had your whole life and it's sitting in the barn and you're just kind of like, you know what? This thing sucks because it's so slow and I could barely ever get it running because it's on points. We could do electric conversion to it and the thing hauls the mail.
There you go.
This is no joke.
So, and if you want to see content from Cole, he can video everything and show you how he makes the parts, and he does a lot of the fabrication and design in-house, and he's the one doing my powder coat work, and he's got some wild ideas. On this bike here, there's some touches you can see with his logo and everything that he's made. Basically, there's the battery inside there, right?
Yeah, this is the Honda logo, and I redesigned it with electric bolts. Oh, yeah. So this is a 72 volt moly cell battery that will output 300 amps. Now currently my controller, which is actually installed in this seat so you don't see any wiring, is only good for about 150 amps. So this battery will basically cook that controller. And that controller is no joke. It's pretty beefy.
That's crazy. I love these tires too. That's awesome. Pretty fast, huh?
Yep.
Hey, bud, and this is the shop dog, right?
Yep, Big Papa.
Big Papa. Hey, bud. He always tries to like bite my fingers when I'm here.
It's okay, buddy.
If your shop is totally spotless and clean all the time, that means that either you're not doing enough work or you're lazy, right?
I guess.
So cool, man. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
You got it, bro.
And you guys will be seeing more of Cole. Let me know in the comment section below if you'd like to see more stuff like this electric conversion bike. And see you guys soon. The luggage rack off the back of this unit, and I need to get this powder coated black as well to match all the other pieces that I took down to Regal Metal Works. I don't know how I missed it. I think I took it off the bike and laid it with the pile of parts that's sitting over there. And what do you know? I come back home, it's still sitting on this. This is actually a solo seat. I guess it's a conversion. It's an aftermarket piece that you can buy for the Triumphs. And you typically, the factory seat goes from here to here, or if you do a solo seat, it converts it to a smaller seat, and then you have this luggage rack. And I think for the Scrambler build, this is going to look really cool, having this on there, but I do want this in black instead of this chrome color. So I'm gonna probably use this setup the way it is. Honestly, I was gonna chop it back here and make it real short, but I want this bike to be functional. I want it to be able to hold stuff. I can put an entire probably 30 pack on here and strap it down. So anyways, how this is held on is just simply 4 bolts on the bottom. This one's half stripped. These are rusty. Wish me luck. I didn't find any money in here. I got all the bolts out, and this literally just lifts right off. There are little spacers, as you can tell right there. Those will need cleaned up. I may just get new ones because this is pretty rough. I don't know what the hell they had this through a river or something. A little filthy. That'll clean right up. And then there's 2 bolts on either side here, and then this piece completely lifts off. This needs some serious cleaning. I got to drive all the way back to Regal Metal Works to drop off just this piece before he starts powder coating on my stuff. I think he's going to do it tomorrow. And I think I'm going to wrap it up for this episode. If you guys like the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and leave something in the comments below. Love you guys. See you in the next episode. Peace.